And welcome to Ask Ryan Anything. I'm Ryan Thomas. This is where I answer your questions. And today we're talking about how to communicate with your child when the alienator is intercepting everything and telling the child what to think and then getting the child to say, "Don't contact me. I don't want to hear from you." We're going to talk about whether you should continue to communicate and what are some ways that you can communicate. And as always, as I answer these questions, not only am I answering the specific question for the individual who asked me, I want you to also look at the big picture. Try to apply what I'm talking about to your specific situation. Take this insight and this idea, this concept, and try to work it for your own specific situation as well. Now, this question today comes from Anne, and she says, "Every time I send my 16-year-old son a card or a gift for his birthday or other event, I get a nasty message back from his dad saying, 'He doesn't want anything from you. Leave him alone.' His dad has become the messenger, the interceptor for everything. In the past, anytime that we've started to get a little closer, his father immediately starts to ramp up the campaign against me, and then my son shuts down again. His birthday is coming up, and I receive a message from my son on his phone saying, 'Please don't contact me or send anything for my birthday.' Now, either his father has sent it or there's a lot of pressure being applied to him. I'm just not sure what to do. Ryan, I know that you tell me to constantly and tell us to constantly send communication, but do I respect his wishes or do I continue to send something?" And this is a great question because I think a lot of parents are fighting with this. Do I do what the child asks and not communicate? Or do I continue to send communication and try to inflame and antagonize both the child and the alienator? And so there's a couple things that I want to break down for you as we talk about this. And the first thing is understand that your alienated child is always the extension of the alienator. So if you've ever talked to your kid and you're like, "Wow, this does not sound like them. This sounds like the mom and dad," the alienator, it's because it is. You know, that message of how to think about something or how to feel about something is always sent down to the child so that they're the one saying, "I don't want to have anything to do with you. I don't want that." And so you're in the situation where not only are you seeing that, but the alienator is stepping directly in to the communication of your 16-year-old child, messaging you, telling you he doesn't want anything. He doesn't want to talk to you. He has no interest. And so for your perspective, you're like, "Well, I want to hear it from him." And then you hear it from him. So there's a couple of things at play here. And one of the things that I suspect is that anytime you send a birthday card or a gift, imagine we're at the mailbox, the mail comes in, you got a card from your mom. Or again, I'm trying to make this for everybody. You got a card from your mom or you got a card from your dad. And they give it to the child, and as the child's opening it, the alienator is standing right here, looking over their shoulder. Little small. That's not much. Oh, little big, he's trying to buy your love. Oh, that's all they could afford? Cheapskate. Oh, look at that. Like money's going to make it all go away after all they've done for you. The child never gets an opportunity to truly be sort of one with the gift or one with the message. If a card says, "I love you," oh, that's news to me. And the kid goes, "Yeah, I guess it is." If they say, "I want to see you," why would they want to see you now after they've rejected you all this other time? They couldn't care less about you. So your child is always having this play-by-play commentary telling them how to perceive your card, your gift, your message. And of course, it's a no-win situation, so it's never enough. It's never good enough. So you're in a situation where every time something from you comes to the house, there's stress, there's anxiety. It's not an opportunity for you to connect with your child in the way that you want and that you deserve. It's actually an opportunity for the alienator to completely rip to shreds not only you, not only your influence, not only your love and compassion and your kindness, but it's to truly rip out the child's belief that they have the right to have love and compassion from the other parent. It rips out their self-confidence. It rips out anything that has to do with their own self-worth. Because in order for the alienator to give and receive love from the child, it has to come at the expense of you, of the alienated parent. So there's this huge conflict where the child, every time they come in, it's like, well, do I want to open up this card in front of the alienator? Do I want to open this gift in front of the alienator and be told that you're no good and that the child, I'm not worthy of love. I'm not worthy of this gift. That the parent would think so little to only send me $20, that I'm not worth more than that. Or that if a gift comes in and it's a bigger ticket item, that the parent is trying to buy me. So it's not that they would feel so much love and want to do something nice for me, the child. It's just a ploy. I really have nothing to do with it. So from the standpoint of your child saying, please don't send anything, I think that it actually falls in line. It's like, please don't have anything that's going to create stress and anxiety. And I think that this is where a lot of parents just don't understand. And how could you? You send a gift, you send a card, it has nice things in it, it's meant to be good. How in the world is it bad? Why in the world would a kid reject something that maybe you know that they'd like? Maybe you know that they would appreciate. Maybe you know that they need the money. So why would they reject that? And so this is where, as a child of parental alienation, I'm trying to tell you, this is exactly what would happen to me in my situation when I would receive something from my dad. My mom would be right there, ripping it to shreds, making my dad out to be a bad guy, making me out to be somebody who would be a bad person if I even wanted it. And so my dad used to say the only way that he knew that I even received a gift was that his check would be cashed. I mean, that's pretty low. That really makes me feel awful that I did that. But even with that, he owes you. That's nothing. You cash that check and the heck with him. So you're deprived of anything good that comes of this. So when you think about, okay, why is this happening and now what should I do? With that perspective that I hope you all understand, it's actually not about you. It's not about you in the way that you think it is. Instantly and understandably, you feel like the victim. I mean, it hurts you. It rips your heart out. I'm sure my dad thought, maybe this gift, maybe this card, he'll appreciate it and I'll get a call. And you, nowadays, I mean, I didn't have text and email during that time, but maybe you're thinking, maybe I'll get a text. Maybe I'll get an email. And then when it doesn't happen, rips your heart out. I totally get it. But understanding what the child is actually going through, I hope will help you take it beyond how you're feeling and continue to have that compassion for your child, saying, wow, what a really awful situation this is. Like, this is really damaging to the child. So I am a big believer in always keeping up that communication. And in the world where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, I would rather be damned every single time for at least sending something. Because as much as they don't like it when the alienator doesn't like it when you don't send something, the minute you stop, you play right into their hands. And they say, look, see, I told you, didn't really care. You told him to stop and he stopped. It was like you let him off the hook. And so I understand, you know, and you're thinking of like, well, should I abide by what my child is thinking? And believe me, there is a very real narrative that's probably against you that, you know, you don't listen to the child. But I would much rather have you err on the side of sending something against the child's wishes, a present, a card, than to ever be able to say, they gave up, they stopped. Didn't send you something for your birthday. Didn't send you something for the holiday. That's not what a real parent does. So I would send and send and send. But when I come back from this break, I want to share with you a way that I think, depending on your situation, you might be able to consider to give a gift to the child, which is all that really matters, is the child knows that you tried, but in a way that's not going to be in front of the alienator, so that the child can have a real and true expression of your love, of your kindness, and your compassion. So I'm going to give you that idea when we come back, so stay with us.
Do you wish you could understand your alienated child better and how they think? Alienated children are like puppets on a string. In my book, The Alienated Mind, I give a complete breakdown of how the parent is stripped of all influence and completely dehumanized in the mind of the child, and how the alienator can transform a loving child into someone who says and does hurtful, awful things. And I would know because I was that child. Understanding your alienated child better will help you reach them. The Alienated Mind, a new book and audiobook available now.
Want specific advice from Ryan Thomas on how to handle your specific situation? Join Ryan's Reunite group coaching call and private Facebook community and get support and guidance from Ryan and others in a safe environment. Right now, for a limited time, you can join the Reunite group coaching calls and community for just $1 a month. And remember, you don't have to go it alone.
And welcome back to Ask Ryan Anything. We're talking about whether to communicate with your child if they say, don't send me a card, don't send me a gift, and how to actually communicate and show love and not miss a milestone with a gift and a card as a parent. And so where we left off was, kind of unpacking this baggage that your child is feeling, this emotion that they're feeling when you send a gift, not anything that you did, but because of how the alienator interprets the gift for the child and the message of love that you have for the child, to just churn up all kinds of things. So basically, every time the child gets a gift, they're under a spotlight and they are on the hot seat. Their reaction is being watched. They're being told what to think about this. And if they dare say, ooh, great, or oh, that was really nice, or oh, I appreciate that, anything good, that's not going to fly. That is absolutely going to challenge the influence and loyalty towards that parent. And I've had instances where I've done that, where I've shown just little bits of acceptance of my dad. And you might as well take this table and flip it upside down. How dare you, after all we've done for you, that you would accept something from him, that you would like something from him? Fine. You want to see what kind of a terrible life you'd have if he was in charge of your life? We created a great life for you. Anything that's good came from us, not him. So, what do? How can you give a gift to your child that is not going to be under the microscope, under that bright light where the parent's telling what to think, and the child has to watch their reaction, and then definitely can't reach out to you and say, hey, thanks so much. Not going to happen. So this is depending on your situation, depending that you have, and I only say this as a slight disclaimer, there are some parents that unfortunately, because of a either temporary or permanent court order, can't have communication, can't go near their kids, all of those things. I'm talking about somebody a parent out there who is trying to communicate with their child, and they're just having a roadblock by the parent, but they're still recognized as the legal parent that has a right to access their child. They just can't figure out how to do it with this gatekeeper, the alienator, in the way, intercepting everything. So what my advice would be, and just an idea, is how can you get a gift that the alienator's not going to see? What I would suggest is I would pick up lunch for your child, their favorite things, maybe get a couple of other sandwiches. Let's just say your kid loves a particular type of sandwiches. Great. Get a couple of sandwiches, put it in a little bag, and then bring it to the school. Drop it off at the school, go into the main office. Hi, I'm so-and-so's mom, and I'm here to bring them lunch. If you could just let them know that it's here, so that let my son or daughter know that it's here, then they'll have it. the school official says, hey, come pick up something at come pick up something at the main office, or however it works. Child comes in, hey, your mom dropped off lunch for you and a couple of your friends. That's why we have the extras. Let them share, him or her share. So the kid goes, okay, and maybe in it there's a little card that says, happy birthday, hope you have a great day, here's lunch of your favorite things, and share it with your friends. Now, there's a couple of reasons that I love this idea. Number one, you're allowing the child to experience the gift without the alienator over their shoulder. And I'm just going to say it. If the kid doesn't want to share that you did this with the alienator, they don't have to. They're not going to know. So this is a way for you to get a gift, allow the child to experience it, and leave it up to them if they want to tell them. Now, if they don't want to tell them, then great. There's no stress. Why would they tell them if they don't want that stress and anxiety? If for some reason they feel such loyalty to make sure that they inform the alienator, well then honestly, the kid actually got the gift. Hopefully they consumed it and they had a little moment of joy liking it. But you're still at the same response. Okay, so everybody gets mad at you and the alienator says, how dare you drop off lunch? Whatever. You're no further behind. At least maybe a kid had, again, the opportunity to actually enjoy the gift. The other reason that I like this idea is there's always, as a child who's going through all these challenges, they may or may not want other school people to know what's going on. They don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want, everybody knows that I'm not talking to my mom, or that I've done something and I'm not in communication with my dad. So if you, the parent, was to say, I'd like to drop off this card to my son, the administration might say, well, couldn't you have done it at home, or aren't you going to be able to see the kid? Or when the kid gets called down to the office, they say, hey, your mom was here or your dad was here and they dropped off a card. And the kid goes, I can't believe it. They're making me feel so embarrassed right now. Why would you drop off a card? They're going to know. But lunch, whole different ball game. It's consumable. It makes sense. It's a nice gesture. The kid can come in, hey, your mom or dad dropped off lunch for you. Great. The kid can say, awesome, that's great. Take it. They don't have to say a word. They don't have to feel embarrassed. They don't have to feel like this is so strange. It's just an awesome gift. It's an awesome gift that they can consume. They can give to their friends. They can have a little moment of, hey, this is cool. Your mom's awesome. Your dad's awesome. Whoever it is, right? Maybe their friends know, maybe they don't. But in that moment, maybe you get some goodwill. Goodwill from within the child. Goodwill maybe from those other friends that are enjoying it as well. And most importantly, it allows you to just share a private moment with your kid that maybe they can enjoy, that maybe they don't have to share. Or maybe if they share, great, you can't unring a bell. The kid enjoyed himself or herself. So, Anne and other people that are watching this, I hope that helps. I hope that gives you just a couple of other thoughts and different perspectives on first how to deal with it, how to think about it, and then how to actually find ways of communication that are well within your rights as a parent, that are well within the boundaries of not embarrassing your child or making it overly dramatic. This is a simple and easy thing that you can do. So I hope that helps. And just keep up, keep believing, keep fighting, keep reaching out, keep sending love to your child, and always keep love in your heart as you're doing these things. Don't let it change who you are. So thank you so much for the question. I love these questions. I look forward to the next episode, and I will see you on the next edition of Ask Ryan Anything. I'm Ryan Thomas. Have a good one.
Are you ready to take massive action and create your own step-by-step action plan to reconnect with your alienated child? You might be interested in checking out my 5-week online video training program, The Reconnect Formula. Discover what to say, what not to say, how to use email and text to communicate better, and how to use social media to influence your child even if you've been blocked. This is the culmination of my experiences as an alienated child who reunited to help you build the relationship with your child again and get one step closer to reconnecting. So go ahead, check out my 5-week online video training program, The Reconnect Formula.